recorded live at 4ZZZ Studios, Meanjin, Brisbane.
On 102.1 FM.
And broadcast across Australia on the Community Radio Network.
You're listening to Zed Games.
Zed Games brings you the best in gaming news, reviews, community and culture. Want to reach out?
Share your hot take?
Or do you just want to share your favourite game?
Find us on socials at Zed Games AU.
Hello, you're listening to Zed Games. Right up at the top there, we were listening to Big Rock World Theme from Later Skater. My name is Zara, and with me in the studio this episode is...
Peter!
And Tom.
And Tom.
And Tom.
Woohoo! Alrighty.
Yeah. I like it.
I'm actually so pumped.
Oh, it's going to be a great night and a great weekend.
It's going to be awesome.
There's so much going on.
Indeed.
There's so many games packed into this episode, you guys don't even know.
Oh, yeah.
So before we hop into all the showcases and the events that are happening this week and also maybe some reviews, how are we all doing? What's been happening? How are we all feeling? Are we playing
And Tom,
games?
how about you take this one first?
Oh, and Tom, I've been pretty good. I've been playing a lot of my new Nintendo Switch 2.
Ooh.
Sorry, I can't say new Nintendo Switch 2 because that might be a product that they put out.
Yeah.
The
You got to be
Nintendo
careful
3DS.
with that. That's going to be like
But-
the Switch 2.
The Switch 2U.
The Switch 2.
Oh, there we go.
There.
Right,
no,
don't sue me, Nintendo. I didn't read the documents.
It's pretty good. Been playing a lot of Mario Kart. It seems like the mode online is the Knockout Tour mode.
Yes.
That's like
Okay.
the best one to
I
play. It's
noticed.
essentially Mario
Is
Kart.
everybody a cow?
There's been a lot of
Not the
cow.
character, like people playing Mario Kart.
The Moo Moo Meadows cow,
Yep.
is very prevalent. I am also getting a lot of the penguin from Mario 64.
Okay.
A lot of penguins turning up. But yeah, people have already worked out the meta characters, if you
Yep.
really want to get into the nitty-gritty of it all, is Wario.
I didn't know that Facebook had a character in the game. Sorry.
Yeah.
that
Yep.
took a moment. That took a moment.
It did.
But no, there is Wario and Waluigi and Wiggler. All the heavies. That's the meta characters at the moment.
All the
you know what?
Ws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So if
W
you're unsure,
stands for winning.
yeah, pick a W.
Pick
Yeah.
a W.
I have not unlocked any costumes for the baby characters because I refuse to play as them.
That's
Makes sense.
valid.
They don't have licenses.
They're kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about you, Peter?
I have been enjoying a new automation game called Odd Sparks.
Odd Sparks.
Indeed, it
How
is
do you-
adorable.
How do you spell Sparks in this?
Sparks.
Okay.
Yeah, so just normal.
Not with an X.
But it is an automation game, so you're creating your various different factory routes and other things. But it's got a fantasy theme where you're throwing giant logs around, and those are your sparks that are carrying things around. But it feels very Pikmin-ish, because you have your
Yes.
sparks following you around, and you're throwing them to fight different creatures or collect different
I've
resources.
seen this game before.
I'm probably 2/3 of the way through, and I just unlocked monorails
There's no monorails in
made out of wood.
Monorail.
Oh my
Yep.
Monorail.
Yeah,
this.
I am thoroughly enjoying it, but the logic is honestly starting to do my head in because I don't know how much or the speed at which my sparks are carrying things between buildings. So most other automation games you can clearly see that's like, oh, this does 6 a minute or 10 a minute or whatever the ratio is. You literally throw a spark down and it'll run until it can pick something up and then it waddles really slow. And I'm just like, how many a minute am I producing? Like, the buildings tell me how much they're producing, but not at the rate at which I can move. For an automation person that likes these numbers so that I can make it very efficient, it's frustrating. But I love the atmosphere in it sort of idea. And yeah,
Sounds great. Needs more numbers, though.
More
a lot of
numbers.
representation in it too, as well, which was really, really cool.
We love that.
Yeah. What about yourself, Zara?
This is going to be a little boring. I've not really been able to play many games lately, but that's because of reasons that will be revealed later. The reasons is probably because organising other games.
Yes.
But before we get into all of that, we've got the week in gaming news.
That we do.
This week in gaming snooze. Brr, Frosty Games Fest. The changing season brings the brand new Frosty Games Fest, which is a showcase that focuses on games coming out of Australia and New Zealand. Here's some of what has been announced. We've got Mars First Logistics, which is a game about building rovers and delivering stuff. Love it.
Yep.
Letters to Orala, where you play as a turnip delivering letters. Taroa Skycall, which is a game about an albatross finding its way home.
I love
Absolutely
that.
Gorgeous.
Yep.
Junklands is a platformer for eco warriors. It's giving me... I've been on a little bit of a Ratchet and Clank vibe.
Nice.
I was getting Astrobot feelings as well.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I'll have to check it out then.
We've got Bones Wandering Soul, which is a puzzle game that has you playing as a skeleton. The fact that your head or other limbs is detachable is a key part of it.
Throwing
so-
your own bones at
Yeah,
enemies and stuff is pretty fun.
Sounds like a new medieval to some extent. Awesome.
We've got Cast and Chill, which is an idle fishing game.
Always good.
And also featured in it with some familiar names. We've got Tempopo, the
Tempopo!
planning puzzle rhythm game by Brisbane studio Witchbeam, Key Fairy, Pacifist Bullet Hell by Owl Machine, and really, there were many more games that were announced during this festival, and they are all definitely worth checking out.
They looked fantastic.
I am always blown away by the amount of creativity and just variety that comes from the games industry around here. It's just, and I think this really highlighted it.
Yeah.
It was good. It was like watching that showcase felt like you were walking around the PAX floor.
Yeah.
Just seeing all those amazing indie games there.
Yeah, but they're like neighbors, they're like friends, they're like someone you went to school with. But that was not the only games festival that was going on. Peter.
No, definitely not. Over the past couple of weeks, we've had the Summer Games Fest as the main one as well, announcing a whole bunch of big AAA titles and everything else and showing off some new ones. Some of the specific ones were Resident Evil Requiem, releasing February next year. The next one in the Resident Evil series, going back to Raccoon City.
Yes.
Lies of P Overture, which is out now. Continuation of the new Dark Souls-esque Pinocchio crossover thing.
Yeah, it was one of the really good Dark Souls-likes.
Apparently, it's got a great story.
But people are struggling with the game.
Yeah, they are.
Which is
It's
fair enough.
difficult.
Sounds about right. Dying Light The Beast, which is set for an August 2025 release. Just more Dying Light, more zombies, more parkour. Wu-Tang Rise of the Deceiver. A Wu-Tang game in 2025.
You have to fight and rescue the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
I thought, when I saw this little trailer, I thought I was like waking up from a fever dream.
Yeah, I know.
Huh?
Like when I was
love
looking at it the first bit, I was just like, is this a new Def Jam game? Wait, no, Wu-Tang? What?
No, but I love it.
I know.
Oh, it looks great.
You have to dig out your old Wu-Tang Clan symbol-shaped controller to play this one.
Yep.
What's old is new again.
And the last one on this list, Killer Inn, a social deduction game by Square Enix, which looked like a modern take on Cluedo.
Yeah.
That was my takeaway from that one.
But with a little bit of that sort of anime flair on it, you know?
Yeah.
That little JRPG.
I remember seeing a stat on this. Apparently, it's up to 25 player.
That seems like a lot of people.
I know. That seems like a lot of people to try and figure out who are murderers and who are.
Nothing
I think
is going to get
foxes is what they
deduced
announced.
between all of us.
Yeah. Oh, well, anyway, that's it. Summer Games Fest sort of idea with a couple of the games that were announced there. What else do we have, Zara?
Hatsune Miku in Minecraft, Steve will be in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds.
Yep.
We've also got the video games voice actor strike potentially coming to an end.
Woo!
SAG-AFTRA have announced that the strike, which started in July 2024, may be coming to an end as a tentative agreement has been reached. Details of the agreement hasn't been revealed and it still needs to be voted in, so we're all kind of just waiting at the moment. Everyone at SAG-AFTRA is immensely grateful for the sacrifices made by video game performers and the dedication of the Interactive Media Agreement Negotiating Committee throughout these many months of the video game strike, said SAG-AFTRA's Duncan Crabtree Island in a statement. Powerful name, Duncan, I must say.
I liked that it had crab in it.
But that's not all. That's not all for
No.
Games Fest, is it?
Yes. Also, during the Xbox Games Showcase, a new handheld enters the mansion.
Indeed.
Xbox unveiled their first handheld console, the ROG Xbox Ally, in partnership with Asus.
Yep.
Asus have put out handhelds before, but this is an official Xbox handheld. that
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the first third-party thing to actually have the Xbox symbol officially licensed and on it.
Really?
Yeah, and it's
Wow.
you can download your Xbox games to play them natively, as well as stream games, and it has you can play your Steam games, GOG, all those.
Yeah, I
on there.
heard something about this is going to have the kind of Xbox Gamer OS on it to some extent. And it's kind of what they're working with the Windows team to allow it to get rid of a whole bunch of background processes that Windows takes up. So
Yeah.
being able to play a whole bunch of PC games and stuff on it in addition to Xbox ones.
It's going to be interesting to see as more details about it is revealed.
Yeah,
But that's not all.
Looks cool.
No,
Yes.
yeah.
Also, we have Keeper by Double Fine, makers of Psychonauts. It is a game where you play as a lighthouse that's sprung legs, and you're teaming up with a seagull, and you're exploring these wonderful worlds. We have Outer Worlds 2, which got a big deep dive into it,
Yep.
showing off a lot more gameplay and stuff like that.
I'm excited for that one.
It's releasing on the 29th of October. And Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade will be coming to Xbox, and Final Fantasy 16 is also coming to Xbox. Final Fantasy is all over Xbox right now.
Yes, it's
I
all
think
there.
Someone pointed out the current Xbox might be the only way you can play most of the Final Fantasy series because it's backwards compatible with the 13 series, whereas the PlayStation 5 is not backwards compatible with the PS3.
Xbox have
Not
cornered the
natively,
Final
no.
Fantasy market.
You can still play all of the Final Fantasies on the PlayStation. You just have to buy them again.
Of course.
Ew.
And also revealed was Persona 4 Revival, yet another Persona remake.
Yeah.
They're just bringing Persona 4 up to the modern style of Persona 5 and Persona 3 remake.
Yeah, the visuals looked amazing on it.
Yeah, it looks great, and maybe they can fix some of the
Grind.
awkward social commentary.
Yep.
Anyway,
Let's hop into some news dibbles. To no one's surprise, the Switch 2 has become Nintendo's fastest selling hardware of all time, hitting 3.5 million units sold in 4 days.
And apparently there's still some stock on shelves in some stores, which is a surprise.
Absolutely
But-
incredible. But
Yay!
Possibly.
Anti-scalper practices.
the upcoming Legend of Zelda movie has been delayed. Instead of releasing in March 2027, it'll hit theaters in May 2027 instead. There's almost nothing revealed about the live-action movie,
No.
but
No,
so many people
Those-
seem to have an opinion about it.
except
2
Jack Black
months.
playing, Link. Yeah, just because Jack Black's playing all main characters in video game
yeah,
movies. At the
he's
moment.
going to be the Deku Tree.
The Deku Tree?
Yeah, see,
for
now that you
sure.
said that, he's
Oh,
actually
hang on,
gonna
wait.
be the Deku
What is it?
Tree.
The Great Fairy? Jack Black is the Great Fairy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Could be.
Could be.
Rising
I could
out
see
of
him
the
doing
fountain.
I hate this.
that. Use nibbles.
PlayStation 5 wireless DualSense controllers will receive an update that will allow them to pair to multiple devices at once later this year.
I have wanted this for a while.
It's a little thing.
It's a big difference.
I connect it to my tablet, I connect it to my PlayStation, I connect it to my PC, all via Bluetooth. And just consistently having to resync it every time I switch device is frustrating.
Very. And it's just like, don't you want people to be able to just like seamlessly use your controller with like everything? Don't you
Yeah.
want them to be able to just integrate it into their everyday lives until it takes over absolutely everything?
Yeah.
When it's that annoying.
Let me
it
control my
makes-
car with my PlayStation controller.
Yeah. Car with your PlayStation.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Tom, what are some upcoming games?
Okay, upcoming this month on June 12th, we have Wizard of Legend 2 for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC.
Good fun.
On June 13th, we have The Alters on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And June 16th, we have Gex Trilogy,
Woo!
PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC. On June 17th, we have FBC Firebreak on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And Kitty Builder? Kitey Builder?
Yep.
Spelled K-I-T-Y.
Kitey? That's not a typo? It's not City
I think
Builder?
it's... maybe it is a typo. Moving on.
But it's coming out on June 17th on PC. We also have Shadowverse Worlds Beyond on PC, iOS, and Android. And on June 18th, we have Hellclock on PC and The Colony New Haven Chronicles on PC.
Yeah.
That's it this
Good.
week in gaming news. All right.
Lots of news.
Yeah, that's a bit of a
Ooh.
packet.
How we doing?
I'm doing pretty good. But I think we're all about to do super great because
Yep.
you've got a review for us tonight.
That I do.
Oh,
Here's
well,
a-
let me...
He has
let
a
me
view on a game that he has reviewed.
Let's hit that intro. Tom's gonna review. He's
Yeah.
Okay.
Game where you fight some food.
Okay.
Rhymes
Take it
with
away.
review. Now, sometimes when a game franchise or genre is left untouched for too long and fans are left waiting and hoping for a grand return, a developer will answer that call to action and fill that void. When we hadn't seen a Mega Man game for years, we saw games like 20XX and Mighty No. 9 filling in the jump and shoot platformer niche. Later, when fans were longing for a modern port of Windjammers, Disc Jam and Power Disc Slam, were jumping in to provide a head-to-head sports disc throwing experience. Now, it seems like the next long-neglected niche genre that is due to resurface is the Punch-Out style game. Like, the last Punch-Out style game... the last Punch-Out game to come out was on the Wii in 2009. It was well received by fans and critics alike. I enjoyed it. But that series has remained untouched and forgotten outside the appearance of the character Little Mac in Smash Bros. So, while fans are left waiting for the next installment, a number of indie developers have once again stepped up to fill in. Games like Big Boy Boxing and the recently announced I Felt That Boxing are on the horizon. But first on the scene is Leftovers KO by Mountain Man Animation. Now, in Leftovers KO, you play as Jay, who, after a long day at work, is tempted to order takeaway once again, but before he can muster up the energy to do so, he is ambushed by the remnants of meals past.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
It's a real problem.
It's the worst.
His leftovers have grown limbs and are seeking revenge for being left out to grow stale and moldy. So the player must now
I hate
fight...
when my leftovers do that.
It's look, it's an everyday problem. We've all experienced this. So as Jay, you must now fight each meal in a Punch-Out-like fashion. For those unfamiliar with the boxing classic, it is a boss rush game where the camera is situated behind the stationary player character as they use low and high punches, dodge left and right, and block their way to victory. The main gameplay loop is not dissimilar to a Dark Souls boss in a way, where you're mostly watching the detailed enemy sprites and animation in order to preemptively dodge the incoming blows and counterpunch in the openings. If you counterpunch correctly or get a hit in while the boss is winding up a swing, you'll earn a star punch point, which will let you perform a powerful super punch, which does way more damage than your regular jabs. Now, where Leftovers KO differs from Punch-Out is that to put your leftovers away for good, you need to finish the fight with one of these star punches. Otherwise, they'll just keep getting back up. This means that you need to essentially solve these fights, learning when to attack and when to earn these punches, and also when to use them. Also, unlike Punch-Out, you have a stamina bar tied to your health bar. So if you're spamming punches or getting hit, you'll be too puffed to throw any back. And this can be very frustrating, as your maximum stamina matches your remaining health. So when you're on the back foot and you've got one hit of health left, you've only got about one punch in you until you catch your breath and let it regain.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, so it left me to kind of have a feast or famine style of game, where it was either I nailed these bosses and I was barely getting hit, or I was just getting absolutely steamrolled. And the game's real, the best part about this game is the animation. It's hand-drawn animation with old sprites that look like an old 90s cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
And it is absolutely gorgeous. And the developer is called Mountain Man Animation. It is their first game. So you can kind of see that this was meant to be more of a showcase of their animation with a game that ties in with some puzzles and stuff like that go in. And it can be pretty rewarding when you finally beat these bosses, but I was hitting my head against a few of these. It took a long time to beat that pizza.
We've all don't worry, Tom. We've all had pizza bosses like that.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, yeah.
the leftover pizza after a big old party, and then you're stuck.
It's
And
been like left out on the table overnight and it's dried out.
Yeah, it should be
Dried
good
out,
to
little
eat.
crusty.
Right.
Still tastes okay. Probably better heated.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And yeah, some of the bosses are more puzzles than actual fights.
Okay.
But overall, I quite liked it. I was left a bit wanting though. Once you beat the final boss of the game, it's only about 8 fights long. It took me about 3 to 4 hours to beat it.
Okay.
I think I stopped for a break in there at some point. After you beat that, you are met with a to be continued. So this is likely the first installment, and there might be updates coming later on. We have no word yet. But
Leftovers, second breakfast.
yeah. Yeah.
Bangers tonight.
Back for seconds
Yep.
round.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
But yeah, so that was my experience with Leftovers KO. If you've got some spare time and if that sounds good to you, if you've got a hankering for Punch-Out and you don't want to wait for big boy boxing, or I felt that, this is the one for you. Otherwise, I would wait for this to go on Steam sale because it is a short experience and a challenging, frustrating experience. What I would like to see, and what probably would have helped with the length of the game as well, is if they made it a little bit easier and had some of the advanced fighting techniques like saved up for a second run through the game. Like in Punch-Out on the Wii, after you finish it, you have the Champions Run, where the fighters that you've defeated come back with more advanced movesets. They've covered their old weaknesses, and you have to find new ones.
Yeah.
So that's the sort of thing that I thought would really suit this one. If you went through a basic first run of each thing, so you could learn how to play the game,
And get at least a little bit of experience with each fighter, sort of thing.
yeah,
Or each
because
meal.
as this goes, it's unless you've played a Punch-Out game before, you're going to be really stuck. They give you a training room to practice in, but not a lot of guidance.
Okay.
So
Get good.
But I mean, if it's his first go at it sort of idea, it's solid.
it looks fantastic. I thought it ran great. I saw a lot of reviews saying that the game was like running slow, or they're like, oh, the controls are not responsive. I'm like, no, it's not that. You're just not good at Punch-Out.
Okay.
It's like your punches have wind up, their punches have wind up. It's about timing and stuff. So when people are like, I hit the button, I swear I hit the button, it's like,
It's not
Yeah.
just about like reacting, it's also about anticipating. Like you're
Yeah.
understanding your
Yeah,
opponent's
similar to like
moves.
Monster Hunter and Dark Souls to some extent, sort of idea. You got to time your things correctly for the wind up or the hit.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my downside about that whole Star Punch thing. The fact that you need to end your fights with a Star Punch. If you use the Star Punch as a counter, it can be a one-hit kill essentially.
Okay.
But which is cool. It feels great when that happens. But it does mean that certain fights I would have been able to beat them multiple times over, but I still hadn't worked out how to get a star point in. So I was like landing hits and dealing damage, but I just wasn't getting the last thing I needed just to solve it.
Yeah.
But
So
I
maybe
think-
that should have been in the Champions Run, and it should have just been a normal fight for your first one.
I think that would have been a great idea.
Yeah.
But as far as this goes for a first run, it's pretty solid.
Cool.
At the very least, y'all should check out the trailer because that animation is mwah.
It looks so. I don't know how else to describe it. It just looks crunchy. It looks satisfying. Looks weighty.
Sounds like it could be a good Saturday morning cartoon premise.
Oh, for sure. Something
Yeah.
that would be on Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Even, yeah. So
All
that's
right.
Leftovers KO.
Yeah.
I am now hungry. Okay, we've talked a lot about games. We've talked about a lot of games festivals right at the top of the episode. But forget about all those.
Yep.
Forget about all of them. All
Yep.
right?
Only one matters, right?
There's only one that really matters, and it's
Only one that really
happening
matters.
this Saturday, 14th of June, at the Brisbane Powerhouse.
That is
That's
2
right.
days away.
I am talking about the Queensland Games Festival 2025.
QGF!
I'm really
Yeah.
excited.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just to summarise, the Queensland Games Festival is a celebration of Queensland's vibrant game-making community.
Yeah.
It is hosted at the Brisbane Powerhouse.
Mm-hmm.
It is totally free to visitors. Just swing on by to check out a whole variety, so many, dozens and dozens of locally made games created by studios not only in Brisbane, not only in the Brisbane region, but I'm talking Queensland.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's digital games, there's board games, there's something for everyone, there's workshops, there's things for the kids as well. There's something for everyone. We're also going to be there.
Oh,
of
yeah.
course.
We are.
But we're going to be doing something a little bit different this year.
We are indeed.
What are we doing?
So in the past, we would host the hot seat interviews, where we would kidnap the developers, drag them up on stage, and make them talk about their game for about 5 minutes. We're doing...
This year, we're not kidnapping them.
We're not kidding. They're all informed. They all know about this ahead of time. They've been
scheduled.
Yes. We are hosting the new AMPLIFY Games.
Yes.
So it is a curated showcase of 10 games that are just a little bit funky, a little bit experimental, a little bit whimsy, a little bit strange even.
Yep. They'll all be there at the Games Festival, but this is a highlight.
Yeah. So with the AMPLIFY Games, we'll be having the developers come up on stage, talking about their game. We'll be playing the game as we're talking about it. And we'll also have the game set up among the audience for that half an hour period. So the audience can play along, we're playing along, we're all playing together while we're talking to the developers about their delightful game. So, oh my gosh, okay.
There is a lot.
There is a lot.
Queensland Games Festival is a lot.
Yes.
But it's awesome.
Yes.
So it's worthwhile coming. And if you have a partner that's like, games, there's a market outside, tell them to come to the market and then just sneak off to the Queensland Games Festival.
Yeah. So we're just going to get we're going to try and get through a list of some of the games that are going to be showing at the Queensland Games Festival. Specifically showcasing at AMPLIFY Games, we've got Lone Pine by Bang 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 Interactive, Bumpabout by Rock-A-Lot, we've got Latest Skater by Alex Dremel, we've got The Hair and the Wreath by Lily, we've got Yumcha, which is a card game by Jonathan Chung, Rodent Rollers by Mobster Lobster Games, Aqueducts,
I like the crustaceans.
Aqueducts by the beautiful Reed and Jack, who we had on the episode on the show a few weeks ago. They've also got Stellar Scavengers by Tem, Slime Time by Flow State Games, and Dungeon Pizza by Growing Games.
Yeah.
And those are only the games that are showing at the AMPLIFY Games. They'll also be a part of the greater Queensland Games Festival, along with games such as Carmen Sandiego.
The new Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah.
Yes. Hordes of Fate, Memo to the Underlord, Bravest Coconut, which I
love the idea of
I'm
that.
obsessed with this little guy. We've also got Cooked, which is another card game. Key Fairy will be there.
Yeah,
So
showing off at the Frosty Games.
You can check what that's about. Cast and Chill are going to be there. Cast and Chill. Also at the Frosty Games. We've got...
So is Isopod.
So is Isopod.
By the makers of Webbed.
Yeah.
If you loved Webbed...
And you want to play as a roly-poly bug.
Just... It's pretty sick, actually. You're just like...
I like that sound effect.
There's Moonbrella, there's Bumpabout, there's Candy Crawler, there's Trash Heart, where you play as a raccoon. There's Memento, we've got Chunk, we've got Tempopo, so you can also check what that's about. I'm sort of obsessed with the thumbnail art for Rita.
It's understandable.
There's Angel as well. There's the board game with We Forlorn Few. We'll be seeing Delpharium.
Yeah, we did a review of We Forlorn Few a while ago.
Yeah. We've also got like Isle Feathers, Chronicles Cat Burglar's going to be there. And
the game is adorable, and it has a cat.
That is the short list.
We're saying a lot of game names, which might not make a lot of sense now, but if you come along, you'll get to...
Check them out.
Play
them.
Actually get eyes on
Try them out.
You can
ask the developers.
Yeah. It is totally free, open to all. at the Brisbane Powerhouse on June the 14th on Saturday, open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. There are dozens of developers there who have been working very passionately on their projects. I know that they're all tapping away at their keyboards right now trying to do last-minute bug fixes because they are just beautiful, beautiful games made by beautiful, beautiful people, and you beautiful, beautiful listeners can get your beautiful, beautiful hands on these beautiful, beautiful games.
Great chance to come down and meet them all sort of idea. There's also the emerging developers room sort of thing for people that want to potentially have career in video games within Queensland and whatnot, to come down and meet some devs and ask some more serious questions and stuff as well.
So there is a lot.
There is a lot.
There is a lot going on. And things do seem quite dark in the games industry as a whole.
That they do.
But within Queensland, I feel very, very optimistic about the future of games. And I think you all should see what that is about.
Come down, check them out, meet some people, have a good time. Yeah. Play some great games.
Play some great
RSVP
games.
to some of these exhibitions.
Yeah. Just pop over to the Queensland Games Festival website. It is all, just Google Queensland Games Festival. It is right there, full list. You don't need to register to come to the festival. Just show up. We are hoping to see you all there.
Yeah.
Come
and get a high five from me.
Yeah. You might need a jump, depending on how tall some of you are.
Hence why the high five.
You're listening to Zed Games at 4ZZZ.
You're listening to Zed Games on 4ZZZ.
Oi mate, you're listening to Zed Games at 4ZZZ.
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 Got a bit carried away.
My name is Zara, you're listening to Zed Games, and with me in the studio this episode is Peter and Tom.
Hi, and Tom.
Hi, Peter. Sorry.
Hello.
Well, it's actually time for us to all say goodbye.
Aww.
I know.
So many games, not enough time.
So many games. But the most important thing that you all need to keep in mind, listeners, is that this Saturday on the 14th of June, at the Brisbane Powerhouse will be the Queensland Games Festival. It is free, it is open to all, and it is absolutely chock-a-block full of games. We could not fit any more games in there. It is
No.
Crammed full of games.
We need more space.
Yeah.
There is more games than what we were able to cram into the Powerhouse.
Yes.
Should be being shown off.
But
alas,
there's plenty of room for people.
Plenty of room for people.
But yeah, I think if you don't have any Saturday plans, you've now got Saturday plans. And if you already had Saturday plans, forget about it. It's now this.
You now have other plans.
But that's it for us tonight. Goodbye, everyone.
Hit save on this point and continue on the next one.
Yeah.
I'll see you on the other side.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Zed Games.
If you'd like to listen to more, you can find us on the Community Radio Plus app
Or find us on socials at ZED Games AU.
See you next time.